This is Alexandra Morris speaking. Hi, welcome to today's webinar. I am the coordinator of the Master's Program in Political Economy, and I'd like to introduce the program to you today. Thanks for joining in. I'm very happy to have a few people watching and listening to us. I would also like to introduce Konstantin Betz to you guys. He is a political economy alumni and right now a PhD student at the grad school. So he is here. Say hello, Konstantin. Hi. He's here to answer your chat questions that you can put into the chat function. Yes, Mehmet, hello. I can see that you put in your hello already. Thank you. The chat function is working. Good. Let's get started. Well, I can see that somebody from Germany has logged in probably, and hopefully some international students as well. In case you have no idea where Konstanz is, I'm actually not too surprised. Konstanz is in the south of Germany, and it's a small town next to the Austrian and Swiss border. And as I said, it's right here on the left-hand side of the picture in that corner of the lake. You just have to cross the border, and then you are in Switzerland. As you can see, there's a skier, so skiing is pretty popular here in this area. On the east side of the lake, there is Austria, so it's a really good location to do some country hopping. And in the middle, of course, there's the lake. The Lake Konstanz is really important, especially for Konstanz. And here you have a few pictures of the city of Konstanz. It's a medieval historic town right next to the lake. In summer especially, it is quite challenging for some students to avoid the beaches, to be honest. So cycling around in this city is great, and you are surrounded by water all the time, as you can see on the pictures. But also, of course, we actually want to talk about studying. The University of Konstanz is the #1 in Germany in the QS Top 50 ranking. It's a very young university, but very high in the ranking. We are also one of 12 universities of excellence in Germany, and we have quite a few international students, and 92% of our international students recommend us once they've been here. Around 11,500 students from all over the world study here at this campus university. And one of our popular features is an excellent 24-hour library. We have, of course, German and other foreign language courses and excellent sports facilities. These sports facilities you can see here. As I said, the water is important. You can do canoeing, kayaking, rowing, sailing, etc. Lots and lots of water sports activities. There's also mountain sports, team sports, individual sports offered by the Department of Sports here at the university. So after a tough day of studying at the university, there's lots of other activities to relax. Here you can see a picture of our campus university. In the middle of the picture, there is the university, and if you look closely, the yellow part of the university is our canteen. Picture yourself on the terrace of this canteen overlooking the lake and this island, which is called Island of Mainau. It is a very spectacular view, and I think it's a nice way to have a break in between. But of course, there are also more important things especially for international students. We have, before you get started, orientation programs from the international office, which are very popular. And then as I said, there are German language programs before and during each semester. You have prep courses from both departments, either the Department of Economics or the Department of Politics and Public Administration at the beginning. There is usually a master's hut where the people get to know each other before they start. On the left-hand side, so you can see a small picture of that event. And then there is housing for international students at a convenient location. You can see a few pictures here. There are either single rooms in shared apartments available or single apartments. There are a few more services for international students. We have a buddy program in place with second semester political economy students. They are always happy to help the newcomers with their questions. Then there's a very active international office. And once you are a bit more advanced into the program, there is a career service which helps the students with their first step into the workforce. But let's talk now about the actual program. The master's program in political economy is about the postgraduate education allowing you to conduct research in the fascinating field of political economy. It is an interdisciplinary program. 50% is with the Department of Economics and 50% is with the Department of Politics and Public Administration. And it offers training in quantitative methods and empirical research. So if you like both of them, you should apply, because you can then apply these methods in policy fields like social policy, public finance, education policy, and so on. Right now, because it's a very young program, we have approximately 16 graduates. And just to give you a few examples of what they actually ended up, many of them are in grad schools or are doing a PhD, for example, at the University of Zurich. But we also have some in a different field, for example, at a insurance company, the Münchner Rück in Munich. We have one in trade marketing. She works for a company called Samsung. And then we also have somebody called working for Holido, which is a holiday data program or platform. So it's quite interesting in what different fields the alumni actually end up. So picture yourself as a political economy student. This is your curriculum. We have 4 semesters altogether. And for example, during the first semester, you go into Research Design 1, International Relations and European Integration, Comparative Public Policy and Politics. All 3 courses are from the Department of Politics and Public Administration. And the other 2 courses that you can choose are either Advanced Microeconomics or Advanced Macroeconomics. This is just an example for the first semester. And you go on into the second semester where you also have a shared program between those 2 departments and so on. During the third semester, you start looking into your master thesis slowly. People come up with master thesis questions and then, for example, choose one and introduce the question or the topic that they have at a master's colloquium, either at the Department of Economics or at the other department. So this is a very brief summary of the curriculum that's ahead of the political economy students. Please, I hope everybody can hear me, by the way. Let me know if there's anything wrong with my with the picture or the voice, but I think so far everything is fine. If I'm too slow or too fast, just interrupt and ask your questions. The program is targeted on international students with a BA in economics or political science, of course. Students with a background in mathematics and statistics can also apply, no problem. You should additionally be interested in quantitative methods and empirical research. If you are, then the master's program in political economy is the right program for you. Just one hint on the side, and Konstantin is probably going to say the same later. For bachelor students in political science, a prior knowledge in microeconomics or macroeconomics is recommendable. I have that question often from students interested in that program. Now we get further into the admission requirements. Each year during the winter semester, we admit approximately 8 students. We have 8 study spots per year. The requirements are an above average bachelor degree. You need to prove that you've got knowledge in mathematics, statistics, economics, or political science. Of course, because it's an international program, you need to have evidence of a sufficient command in English. You need a CV and motivation letter, and 2 letters of recommendation from university teachers. The results of the GRE test are desirable, but not a must. Then I often get the questions from international students, what about the tuition fees? There are no tuition fees for citizens from EU or EEA member states, but for citizens from non-EU and non-EEA states, there is a tuition fee of 1,500 euros per semester. So, people interested to apply, what do they have to look out for? The application deadline is April 30th, so there's still a few weeks ahead until then. And the online application tool will open on March 26th, which is this coming Friday. From that Friday on, you can apply during our online application tool. You will find detailed information about all the admission requirements on the website. And please don't hesitate to contact us. Like, if it's a bit complicated, no problem, just give me a shout, send me an email, call me. I have absolutely no problem answering questions regarding the application. Right now, it would be important to collect and scan all your necessary documents according to the checklist, which is available online. And then you apply. Just one little tip. Sometimes in the online application tool, it says that you should send us stuff via post. It's not true. Please don't send anything via post. Just upload the digital documents. That's all we need. And of course, before I forget, you don't have to have your bachelor degree yet. You're welcome to apply even though you don't have your certificate yet. So, all in all, why should I apply for the master's course in political economy? It is a unique and interdisciplinary program, bridging both departments, political sciences and economics. You can choose seminars from international politics or comparative politics in the field of political science. And you combine it with seminars on a wide range from microeconomics over contract theory to political economy in the field of economics. For your master's thesis, for example, you get advice from 2 supervisors, one from each department, which is interesting. We have very small classes that allow you to interact with your lecturers or your tutors. You are part of an international and open environment in the heart of Europe. Sounds great, but it is like it is. And you have, on top of it, you have a great countryside with swimming, sailing at the Lake Constance or other sports activities or cultural activities in Konstanz. In brief, the language of tuition of the course is in English. It usually takes 4 semesters. and the application deadline is 30th of April. Before I forget, that's also often a question. There is an option to do an internship or an Erasmus stay during the course. It's usually done during the 3rd semester. So that's possible, and we have actually quite a good contacts to future employers or different cooperating universities. This is me, as you can see. If you have questions, please use the phone number or my email address. There's also the email address at the very bottom of the page. With that email address, you reach my student course guidance, Franziska. She's also happy to answer all sorts of questions. And I think I'm done now, and we can start with the question and answer session. For that, Konstantin will join me here. Hi.
Hi, guys. So we got one question already about the background that you need. So the question is if you need a pure background in any of the subjects, so economics or political science, or if it's fine to have an interdisciplinary background with some modules in the subjects.
We've had students who got admitted and, for example, had a background, interdisciplinary background. That is not a problem. What I always advise in this case is to look especially, for example, in the module handbook for the background or for the prerequisites that you need for the economics courses. Because it is possible, but you have to make sure that you have ideally some background in economics in order to then not have a very, very tough first semester with the master's courses in advanced micro or advanced macro. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a purely economic background. I had an interdisciplinary bachelor's program, but I did fine anyway. So it's not a necessary requirement, but obviously it helps if you have some prior knowledge in these subjects. It makes it easier, especially in the first semester.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are still people typing questions, but
yeah. We'll give them a chance.
Yeah, we have some time, guys.
Yeah.
Don't rush it.
I know it's a lot of information.
So Ali is asking, I had a macroeconomics in my BA in political science, but I don't have microeconomics. Is that a problem? No, that's not going to be a problem. So you have a political science background, I assume from your question, so that's already fine. And this additional knowledge in macroeconomics is basically a bonus to that. Yeah. So you can choose in your first semester if you want to do advanced microeconomics or advanced macroeconomics, and then you can look which fits your background and your interests better.
It's a good thing that you have that already. So that helps.
So next question by Lucas. What kind of proof is needed for English skills? I've heard that for students from Konstanz, having completed some courses in English is enough. Can you confirm that?
Yes, I can confirm that. That's right. Students from Konstanz with a bachelor degree can do that. You need 30 ECTS in only English spoken courses. So the easiest for you, if you have that, is to upload your transcript, and please mark in your transcript the courses that you have done that were only English spoken. And you need to altogether 30 ECTS for that.
And for people not from Konstanz, what are the English language requirements?
The other English language requirements are the 3 tests, like the IELTS, the TOEFL, and the Cambridge Certificate of Proficiency. It's also possible to prove it with your Abitur if you've had 5 years of continuous English. That's also possible. And is there any other thing? No, I think that's it. Yeah, these are the 4 ways to prove your English knowledge in order to get admitted.
Okay, it's a new question by Madeleine. Do you need very strong quantitative skills when applying, or are these mostly learned during the first and second semesters? So you learn all the skills you need in the first and second semesters, but it's very helpful to have an affinity towards quantitative work and to have done it before, because otherwise it might be really challenging. So you should be comfortable with using numbers to express to express things. So you don't necessarily need these quantitative skills, but it's helpful to have them to some extent before.
Yeah, we will introduce a prep course this fall for people who are admitted to the course. It's especially designed for students who have who come from the area of politics more than economics, and it should help them to pick up with the economic skills. That helps, but of course, as Konstantin said, it's easier if you've done it before.
Just waiting for more questions to come in. People are still typing. I'm interested in 3 master's programs in Konstanz, economics, political economy, and SEDA. Is it possible to apply to all of them now and decide later?
Yes, you can do that. Like I administer the application process of political economy and SEDA, which is now called SETS. There's a change in the name. And my colleague Svenja Andresen, who does the presentation tomorrow, administers the application process for the master's program in economics. You can apply to all 3. You don't need to upload your recommendation letters, for example, to all 3 of them. You upload it with one master's program where you apply for, and then we exchange the recommendation letters. But that's absolutely no problem. It's always useful to let us know. Like you should send us an email telling us, okay, I'm applying for more than one master's, so that we know, okay, there might be a recommendation letter somewhere else.
Okay, I think that answers the next question, which is, can I reuse letters of recommendation if I were to apply both for the political economy and the general master's in politics?
Yes, you can. Yeah. You don't need to have extra ones.
Jakob is still typing the question. Okay, all right.
There was a nice smiley face at the end. Is there more typing, right? Yeah, okay. We'll give him some time.
No pressure.
Okay, good. Right. Yeah. Oh, she's giving us a big thank you.
Would be nice to end.
Yeah. Madeleine?
At what point in the first year do you choose your track for the second year? So this happens somewhere after the second semester.
I guess, Madeleine, you mean if you want to do the track A, which is the one that leads to the PhD, or the normal track. And that's right, you choose that during the second semester, depending on your results.
Yeah. And it might be worth pointing out that if you don't do the track towards the PhD, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't do a PhD with the GSDS here. So I'm doing the PhD now, but I didn't take the fast track option. So that's fine. All right.
Oh, there's the thank you.
Thanks to you.
Thank you, guys. Nice for having you. And I hope we answered all the questions that you had at the moment. If you have more, contact us, no problem. And thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.